There we go. There's our two players in the match now. And in the top left-hand corner of the map, we have our red Zerg player from MVP, down 0-1, trying to tie things up in this best of 5. It is DongRaeGu. And his opponent in the lower right-hand corner from Team Liquid, up 1-0, our blue Protoss player, HerO.
That's right. So what is HerO going to pick on this map? A lot of times we do see Nexus first from Protoss players. Again, it is a very long map. There's a lot of space in between both bases, and so it's really difficult for either race, really, or any race on this map to do any sort of really early aggression. So you often see players take advantage of that by playing very greedy, playing very economic, and not really worrying about, taking any damage early on. So could see a Nexus first from HerO. DRG definitely going to go for the pool into hatchery, and then probably a third hatchery close after that. That is kind of the standard right now in Zerg versus Protoss.
No, we've talked about this during the Team Arena Challenge, but I think these are the most fun PvZ maps when you have the ones that have destructible debris going in between the natural and the third, just because it opens up so many opportunities for a lot of players. 2-base play from Protoss works really well. 3-base play, taking those very early on and trying to stay defensive, works very well for them as well. This map especially has really good running lanes for Zerg players to try and trap and surround units in the middle of the map and allows them to macro up. In addition, so they can try and hit that Roach Max and trap a third base from a Protoss player. They can go into that defensive infestor style, tech up really quickly and play a long macro game. I just think this map is one of the most fun for PvC.
Yep, and HerO immediately blocking where that second base would go for DRG. Is going to see that. Probably send the drone right down to the third. We'll have to wait and see. And yeah, he's immediately going to go for the third, but HerO doing what every good Protoss player should do and immediately following that drone over to the third base and trying to prevent him from starting another one there as well. So DRG going to be a little bit behind economically early on, but this is something that nearly every Zerg at most skill levels has to deal with.
Yeah, it's going to take him very long.
Oh, he does get it down. Nice.
Barring a mistake there to put up that hatchery, and he is able to finally put that down. So it's still a little bit delayed, but it is going to come online pretty soon here. HerO has decided to take his Nexus right behind that forge, so we'll see what else this probe is going to be up to in the form of shenanigans.
Yeah, now that probe going to kind of look for a few other things, make sure some Zerglings are being produced. And now DRG on this map, I feel like he's going to be kind of tempted to go for Mutalisks. He really does like Mutalisks overall. As a player, he enjoys using them whenever he can. And on Ohana, it's a good map for that. Where Protoss players generally do play a little bit more passive, go for that quicker third base. A lot of times, if you get Mutalisks fairly quickly, you can surprise them sometimes before they have a good amount of Stalkers to defend that. So I wouldn't be surprised at all to see DRG go for Mutalisks on this map, but a lot of it does depend on if HerO does take his quick third or not.
And we'll see what sort of ability he's going to move into here in just a second. Important to note that he's only taken one gas so far.
Yeah.
Usually this moment when you'd see double gas, and then the question of a third and fourth about a minute and a half, 2 minutes from now. So I don't know if HerO has something a little bit dirty up his sleeve.
We'll see.
But DongRaeGu is certainly going to have to react.
We'll see. I mean, it's one of those maps where, we keep saying it's so big, you don't see a lot of all-ins on it, a lot of two-base all-ins, but sometimes Protoss players use that kind of assumption that people make about the map to do just that. Go for a really aggressive two-base push, put a lot into it, and even though it takes a long time and the Zerg should scout it coming fairly early, it's still hard to deal with once in a while.
Yes, it is. And so HerO saving up a fair bit of resources at the moment, but of course he's going to have a little bit of an overabundance of his minerals here. So we may see a bunch of gateways and a just more of a Stalker Zealot heavy composition rather than the normal amount of sentries we see at this stage of the game. DongRaeGu, on the other hand, continuing to drone up and playing very economical. In another round of drones or so here in a second, we'll start to see him move into the later tech and a couple of gas here in just a bit.
Yeah, it's usually around this time that you see it, and so we probably will be seeing those two gas guys just taken very quick by our Zerg player. And then, if he plays it like any other Zerg does, which he probably will, getting the Roach Warren and the Evolution Chamber as well for upgrades for Roaches. Zergling speed as well is going to be something he's going to go for relatively quickly once he has some gas income. Now, HerO on the other side, getting his Warp Gate research up, going for +1, a little bit slower than he did before. He could still decide to go for kind of a 1-1 attack here, but I'm waiting to see what we're going to see out of him. He's got a lot of minerals saved up.
Yes,
is it just going to be a bunch of gateways? I mean, we only have one gas, and it
one,
will.
2, and we'll see how many more he decides to put up after this. I assume he'll go up to 6 or 7, I would imagine, when all is said and done. And indeed, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gateways.
Yeah, 6. And where's the Twilight Council? Show us the Twilight Council HerO.
Well, honestly, he may just
Well, he
decide
only
to
has
go
one gas, I guess. Yeah,
and just put on like huge. This is going to hit a lot quicker than something else would hit, and he may be able to hit with more zealots and offensive units. He's not going to have the ability to force field anything out, but he may be able to take advantage of his opponent's greediness if DongRaeGu ends up droning up to an abnormally high amount.
Yeah, well, around this time in the game, a lot of Zerg players will be watching for that. You know, they'll be sending in an Overlord, which is exactly what DRG is doing right now. Does get forced back by that Stalker, but what DRG wants to know right now is, can I use my Larva on drones, or can I use it on offensive units? You know, what do I need to make right now? What's my opponent doing? He didn't get a lot of information out of that scout, actually. And look at this. I believe HerO actually took one of his gases at his natural expansion. Two of them. Okay, he does have both gases there. So he may be trying to throw DRG off a little bit. We'll have to see. Yeah.
No, he is, 100%. I mean, whereas
yeah.
this is going to look like some sort of a tech build because that Overlord's sitting there going, aha, two gases are up, that's fine. Although they did come a little bit later, and I think DongRaeGu may know that, but he's only getting his Roach Warren right now. HerO's going to be able to hit with a staggering number of Stalkers very early on. Yeah,
well, this is kind of what we saw happen last game, too. DRG kind of went a little bit too economy heavy and was caught off guard by a strong push. He knows about it now. He saw the probe, he took it out, but HerO already out there with some units right now. +1 is done. +1 armor on the way as well. DRG will not be able to kill that pylon. He's just got a delay right now. He's got a delay for his roaches and his Zergling speed to finish, but I don't think HerO's going to give him the time.
No, not at all. And in fact, with taking out that Overlord, he has supply blocks his opponent. 4 more Overlords are finishing up here in just a second, though, but it's going to require forces being killed for any additional units to come up. Nice job surrounding the Zealot off to the side. He was able to take that out with the Queens pretty easily. Spinecrawler's up as well, and he defends pretty well with the additional Queens, but now that HerO is sending in a few additional Zealots, it feels very much like an aggressive 4-gate, some sort of a PvP for me. But right now, DongRaeGu is in a lot of trouble.
Well, yeah, I mean, the upgrades that he needs, the unit count just is not there right now. Having to fight with the drones, and again, things not looking too good at all for MVP.DongRaeGu. Liquid HerO looks like he may take game 2. We'll see. He needs another round of Zealots to complete this. Here they come. Zealots are out. The Roaches getting focused down by those Stalkers. And DRG losing supply very rapidly here.
That's right. So DRG is just on his last legs now. How many workers has he lost?
A lot.
21 of them. So all of that extra economic advantage that he wanted by droning up so aggressively has just been completely neutralized by HerO. HerO is prepared for this match so well. There's the GG, and HerO is just 1 game away from advancing to the grand finals.
Yeah, DongRaeGu's got to be glad that this is a best of 5 because he has got to win now 3 games in a row to come back.